It's wet at Wilton Mill. It's round 6 of the Daytona DMAX Inter-Heats Championship. Looks like there's already been a bit of trouble in the first heat, judging by the reaction of some of the drivers coming into the pits there. Bobby Trundley, the championship leader, seemingly in a bit of trouble. But look, this is the second half of the championship we're about to start, so let's look back to the first half. Bobby Trundley was pretty much untouchable at rounds 1 and 2, took both wins, starting with a win at Daytona, Milton Keynes, but since then hasn't been on the top step in the final. The wins have gone the way of Chris Hackworth. He won at round 3. Round 4, the win went to Chris Alcock. That was at Buckmore Park. And at Shennington, Mike Coppin finally took a race victory. Growing in confidence are Alcock, and Coppin Alcock is particularly strong round this track. The top 8 are within 100 points, which might not sound close, but considering if you get a good score, you can score as much as over 120 points in one day. So it is very close between those top 8. It's wet. Championship leader perhaps a little bit flustered in that first heat. Let's get into the final.
Right, so ladies and gentlemen, it's time for round 6 of the 2017 Daytona DMAX Inter-Heats finals here at Wilton Mill. 3 different races, 3 different winners, but we had one man that was very, very consistent. That is current championship leader, Chris, Bobby Trundley. 3 top 5 finishes, but we had Richard Lacey. We also had Jordan Taylor and also Ollie Peacock being the 3 winners from this afternoon's preliminary heats. But now we go into a very interesting Inter-Heats final here.
So the top 5 in those, and then we will quickly go through the grid. Lacey, Coppin, Hackworth, Taylor, Trundley. Heat 2, Taylor, Trundley, Hucknall, Hackworth and Senior. Then it was Peacock, Hackworth, Hucknall, Trundley, Mahoney. This is the first time they've been in the dry. Alex, there's the 19 strong grid for you.
Okay, so on the front row it's Chris Hackworth alongside him Richard Lacey, with Bobby Trundley and Jordan Taylor on row 2. Ollie Peacock, George Hucknall row 3. Philip Senior, Zander Mahoney row 4. Mike Coppin, Chris Alcock row 5. David Stephen, Curtis Mitchell row 6. Alan Curtis, Tom Eastwood row 7. Andre Careless, Andy Stobart row 8. Lee Carey, Pete Lepan and James Browning completing the 19 strong grid, who are coming around the final sector of the lap before we go green very shortly.
Okay then, your front row is Chris Hackworth and Richard Lacey, currently coming into this event. Hackworth 9th in the championship, Lacey 6th, so some good results for them championship-wise. Some good points for them in the heats. Let's see if they can continue that in the final. Right to the left will be Chris Hackworth, to the right Richard Lacey. Do we get away first time? Yes, we do. Hackworth leads him into turn 1. It's still a bit slippery in turn 2. And, oh, well, Richard Lacey going a little bit sideways, as did Bobby Trundley, but everyone just about through safely up towards turn 3 for the first time. Jordan Taylor is there in 4th place, I think that is, as they head through turn 4. It's Hackworth, Lacey, Trundley, and then it is Taylor next along.
You got
defending, Peacock. Yeah, that's Peacock in 5th, defending from Mahoney, and I think behind that is Philip Senior. Oh, and a change of lead almost. Well, oh, running into the side of Hackworth there was Richard Lacey, and is he going to make that move at turn 8? Looked like he may have handed the place back to Hackworth. Lacey's going to pay the price for it, as into the boot. There goes Trundley into 2nd. Taylor forces his way through into 3rd place. Now up towards the last corner. Oh, Peacock has left himself on the outside here. He's picked the wrong way and might lose a place as a result. He does. Zander Mahoney goes up towards 4th place. Philip Senior, I think that may be making a couple of places. Who is up further up? George Hucknall is up to 5th place. So they go up towards turn 3 for the second time, and it is Hackworth, Trundley, Taylor, Mahoney and Hucknall, the top 5. Alex.
And also down a little bit further down the order, Alan Curtis and Mike Copping are currently 9th and 10th.
Peacock just lost a place there. No, that's
Andre Careless is the one alongside him, as well as Careless, I think, is being having the one thrown up the inside by David Stephen there going into turn 8 as Careless mounts the curbs coming out of the turn.
I thought you were going to use the line there. He's being very careless. Andre being very careless, but there you go. I won't say it again. Sorry. I had to say it once.
Freudian subtext.
Right, let's get back to the race, shall we? Because it's quite a good one so far. and Hackworth is
And
leading.
Mike Coppins has gone up the inside of Alan Curtis going into turn 2. Coppins won the heats final last time out at Shennington. If he gets a charge, he is injured.
And I think that's a usual thing for Mike, just checking he's got his camera on. He always does that. Ollie Peacock made a place behind, and that was on Chris Alcock, who's not had his best day so far. Bad luck in the heats for him. Now, and a change for third. Xander Mahoney up the inside there at turn 3. Takes third place away from Jordan Taylor. Didn't see that move coming, I must say. Went very deep on the brakes, and a very nice controlled move there from Xander Mahoney as they make their way up towards turn 7. Hucknall is there in 5th place, Lacey in 6th.
Right, okay, so Hackworth goes quickest of all with a 53.881. Bobby Trundley 0.08 of a second slower.
Oh, side by side, sorry, that's Alan Curtis and Mike Coppin side by side through turns 1 and 2. Mike Coppin, he could lose 1, 2, 3 places here. They're all queuing up on the inside at turn 3. Alan Curtis will go through. Ollie Peacock will try around the outside at turn 4. Oh, but Ollie Peacock on the grass. Mike Coppin sideways. Through turn 5, Mike Coppin's going to lose 2 more places here. 1 to Ollie Peacock. Oh, they're all over the track. What's going on between this group of drivers here? Chris Alcock's somehow come out on top. Oh, and how are they all still going round? All going well. Mike Coppin and Ollie Peacock have gone into the side of each other at every single corner, and Mike Coppin looks back. What are you doing? Here's what I imagine he's saying. Well, we can usually hear from his onboard anyway.
Well, we're not going to go into that.
We usually have to bleep out every word.
Well, we've had a few bleeps probably this weekend already, and today this particular round might not be any exception. But David Stephen was also embroiled in that melee going into turn 7 and 8, and he came out worse as well.
Oh, well, sorry, the Peacock-Coppin battle continues. Up at turn 3, Peacock looking to the inside of Coppin. What is this for? This is Mike Coppin defending for 10th place. It's got to be the first time I've seen him do that, but trying to just force Peacock to follow him round here. The top 10 is as so. It's Hackworth from quickest man, Trundley. Fastest lap of 53.585. Then it's Mahoney, Taylor, Hucknall, Lacey, Senior, Curtis, Alcock and Coppin.
Yes, and that battle is still raging with Andre Careless there as well. Not too far behind is also Tom Eastwood.
It's a four-way battle.
There's a four-way battle for 10th place. And
behind that is David Stephen and Curtis Mitchell well out of position in this one. George Hucknall.
Hucknall's threatening Taylor.
And Lacey not too far behind that. Neither is Alan Curtis anymore. 2 leaders are still together. We have 2 minutes plus a lap remaining. Up towards turn 3, Bobby Trundley getting his head down, and a little look there from Chris Hackworth. There they go through turn 3, through turn 4, through the left in the blue race suit. That's Trundley trying to chase down. He's in the number 2, second in last year's championship. Anyone with numbers 1 to 10 denotes where they finished in last year's championship. Alex.
And Alan Curtis goes.
That's a spin there.
That's George Hucknall as well. George Hucknall. So that's now
nothing he could do. I'm sorry.
And look at Mike Coppin literally capitalised and pounced, as has Ollie Peacock. Drama for both George Hucknall and Alan Curtis on
Alan Curtis just taking too much speed there, braked far too late, locked the brakes up, and just ploughed straight into the back of Hucknall.
The leaders are coming through. Chris Hackworth has got Bobby Trundley breathing down his neck, coming across the last. It's the last lap, Chris. Last lap. Can Bobby Trundley have an opportunity to get past Chris Hackworth in 9 seconds?
He's going to get an opportunity, definitely. Hackworth's already defending up at turn 3. They pull left now. Trundley, he's going to have the run down towards the hill. Can he get the running towards turn 6? Out of turn 5 they go. Hackworth has to defend. Trundley might be able to get alongside out of turn 6. He is, but he's going to be to the outside. Turn 8 is where it might happen. This is turn 7.
And Jordan Taylor is really trying to pressurise Xander Mahoney for 3rd place in the dying seconds of this race.
Out the turn 8 come the 2 leaders. Bobby Trundley's going to get one chance. Will he try and throw it around the outside at the first part of the boot, or will he take the points? He's going to take the points. He knows he can't pass Chris Hackworth this late into the race. Out the last corner. And a bit of contact, but Chris Hackworth is going to take the win from Bobby Trundley.
And Xander Mahoney pips Jacobs, Jordan Taylor for third place with a great surge from Richard Lacey to round out the top 5. So your finishing order for the Interheats Championship for round 6 of the 2017 Daytona DMAX Interheats Championship. It's Chris Hackworth taking a 0.3 of a second win over Bobby Trundley, with Xander Mahoney rounding up the top 3. Jordan Taylor and Richard Lacey round out the top 5 in 4th and 5th. Mike Copping makes his way up to 6th place, ahead of Ollie Peacock and Curtis Mitchell. Tom Eastwood and Andre Careless rounding out the top 10, with George Hucknall, Philip Senior, David Stephen, Alan Curtis, Lee Carey, Andy Stobart and James Browning completing the order.
Disaster for Chris Alcock there, Pete Leopard. Chris Alcock second in the championship, not finishing. Mike Copping, a good recovery for him to get 6th to the podium. Xander, third place, another brilliant result for you there.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I haven't troubled the podium all year, and then to come here and get 2 is amazing. And best thing, this one was on merit, because I was the 4th fastest this morning and James had a mechanical, so this one feels a lot better than the morning one did.
What's been the difference?
Something about this track just suits my driving style. I couldn't tell you what it is, but it's the opposite to MK, where I come 17th.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I think it's the hardest track in the country. So usually if you're quick here, you can be quick anywhere. So I think you're one to watch going forward. So well done on a podium. Bobby, we'll come to you next. 2nd place. You happy with that?
Of course. I mean, love racing Chris all the time, but obviously he had the better of me. It's the full course yellow brought me back in contention. So yeah, one more lap I think I would have had him, but it was such a good race between us two. I think it's probably one of the better races that I've had in my career. So.
And Chris, I guess he didn't go as defensive as he didn't really need to, did he? And that was that the difference that maybe won him the race?
Probably, yeah. I mean, close racing. Nearly had him in the last corner, but he drove a good race. That's why he's God knows how many championships he's won in the lights a while ago. So yeah, fair play.
Well done. This is the battle we've always wanted to see anyway. Now we'll get the man who won. I hope it will. Chris, talk us through how hard it was. I could see you looking behind in the last few laps, just checking the gap.
Yeah, well, to be honest, all day the weather has been a bit of a factor. So I finally got the 3 heats okay again. And I really enjoy the wet around here. And so I'm starting pole for the final. I had a little bit of a slow start, but I was a bit, no power, but finally got going. And like I say, there's a bit of a yellow flag mid-race, and to be honest, the tyres cooled down, and I was like, Bobby managed to close up on me and that, but I managed to just, a little bit quicker some corners, and managed to just hold him off at the end, so I'm happy with that.
Good stuff, well done. Tom Golding, it's good to see you back today. Of course, you've graduated to Ginetta Racing. How's it going for you?
Yeah, Ginetta's good. Hardly getting any racing though. We get 8 races in a year, so yeah, missing the racing to be honest. That's why I'm here today. See how everyone's getting on. I wanted to do Butmore, but yeah, you guys were fully booked, and I probably would have done today, but it's just the money, mate. Really. I was
going to say, how are you finding Ginetta, having come from DMAX?
To be honest, it's just get in and drive, I thought it'd be so much different in go-karts to cars, but just the same attitude, just get in and drive it, yeah. It's all right.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for speaking to us. It's good to see you back again. As you can see, DMAX is a good route into car racing, so to get your motorsport career started, come and join us, visit our website or call this number to get started.